Hello, beautiful people of the internet. My name is Shay, your favorite astrologer. And today we are going to be talking about Mars in Aries in 2034. Check the housekeeping in my comments section for me. And if you want me to do a specific planet for a specific time period, let me know. I am going to get started. Now, Mars is at home in Aries. Mars is about action, war, determination, motivation, and work ethic. Aries comes first. It is the quick to anger, quick to forget. It is the ego. It's where you start. It is the beginning. It is childlike for sure. It is the ram, so it goes direct. It is very direct, very head first, and it can be wild. It can be chaos. It is selfish, um, and it is obviously the first sign of the zodiac. It's a fire sign, so it's got that passion and the drive, and it is very active. Now, the one of the first alignments to happen here is a square to Uranus retrograde in Cancer. And this is Uranus in Cancer is emotional shocks, especially with the mother and with your family and with your creative nature. It is with your electricity, so your telephones and stuff like that may be like spazzing out. It may like be having meltdowns, and if AI becomes sentient, it may lack emotional regulation. So stuff like that. This square is basically saying this big emotional upset is not aligning with where we are starting to act, where we're starting to go. Are you trying to start something? Is what Mars and Aries is saying. And Uranus in Cancer is having an emotional meltdown over it. Now, we did just have some alignments with Mars and Pisces that I thought were very beautiful. So this emotional upset, because it's Uranus, it's spontaneous. It seems like it comes out of nowhere, but it's really Uranus just being random. We're just randomly gonna cry about this because Cancer. And stop with the mama. I'm so anything Cancer, I believe, is mama drama stuff though, but that's where this is coming from. So if it feels like there's just something random coming up that's very emotional, that just came out of the blue, that is not aligning with how we're acting and why are you trying to start something, that's where this is coming from. We then have a semi-sextile to Jupiter in Pisces. So remember, Mars, when it went into Pisces, was also followed by Jupiter. So this is Jupiter in Pisces basically being nudged. Hey, how you broadly communicate, and you're being so unavailable and so disassociated with your communication. And yes, you can have luck here because Jupiter is the luckiest planet. But if you're not going to act on these things, if you're just going to distance yourself, if you're just going to fall into yourself and expand from within and with your intuition, can you bring some of that out so that we can act on it, so that we can actually implement this? So there's like an emotional disconnect with what we're trying to actually accomplish versus and Jupiter here is learning from Mars, and Mars is basically saying we need to act on this. And Jupiter does not, it doesn't like being in Pisces. I kind of view this one neutral. So Jupiter is expanding within and expanding on your insights and kind of what you see coming up, and it's learning from Mars that you need to act on it now. Like all of these things that you're feeling and these things that you're being propelled towards, act on that intuition, act on that instinct. Aries is very instinctual, it just doesn't understand how to implement it. Whereas Pisces understands all of it and can. So I like this alignment. We then have separately from this Saturn in conjunct Pluto. Now, Saturn is retrograde in Cancer, in conjunct Pluto in Aquarius at approximately 16 degrees. I know this is a Mars video, but I'm about to go on a side tangent. This is because Saturn makes several alignments during this Mars transit. So I'm going to really emphasize Saturn here, which is your family, especially your parents and your parental figures, are not aligning with the greater social change. So it may be that people are stuck on how we used to do things or how things used to be or some sort, because Cancer is very nostalgic. So this is one of those situations where you are inhibiting or prohibiting progress, which is Pluto in Aquarius, which is very irritating because we're trying to grow as a community and change as a society and become better for the broader collective. But Saturn and Cancer here, especially retrograde, is trying to keep things the way they were and hold on to the status quo, even if it wasn't working for everyone. For them, whatever reason, it's just uncomfortable to do something different, and so they don't want to. We then have Mars square Saturn at 15 degrees, because remember, Saturn is retrograde. So this stagnation and how we're trying to act with their stagnation, there is a big clash coming between ages. So people that are a lot older, the parental figures, are going to have a big kind of headbutt warring moment because Mars is in its home placement. It ain't taking nothing from nobody. You are not about to stop this. And Saturn and Cancer is like, hold on, I'm going to explain why I feel like we should. No, no, no. I'm on the side of Mars because we do need progress. We do need change. And keeping things just because changing it makes you uncomfortable is not the solution. That we obviously what we've been doing has not been working. So we're going to change that. And Saturn being stuck in its ways, Cancer, this emotional memory of how things, nostalgia used to be, and the fact that, oh, it's our country, and what about our nation? Just stop, okay? It's the older generation had been calling the younger generation snowflakes. And now that the roles are reversed, oh, now you have your feelings hurt and you're going to keep flipping it until it aligns with you and what you want and how you stop. Stop. Just let the younger generation take over. It is time. Then we have Mars sextile Pluto at 16 degrees. So this is good for the collective. These actions that we're taking are going to benefit the grander society and are going to be good for us, and we are acting on it. Whether or not other people agree, it needs to be done, so they're going to do it because society as a whole is going to improve. So it's kind of like my take on robots taking over and AI taking over. There are plenty of other jobs that still need to be done in this society. I say let the robots take over because it's like technology back when, we used to have girls plugging into different telephones to be able to communicate, and now we have cell phones. There are still jobs that need to be done. Let technology cut. So this is a similar thing as to that mindset that I have, which is even though you want to stop progress because you feel like, oh, it's going to take jobs, oh, it's going to take things, it's not what we're used to doing. In the long run, it's going to be beneficial for the community, so let's do it. Then we have Mars conjunct Neptune in Aries at 17 degrees. God is smiling. God is happy. You are good with your spirit. How you've acted and where you stand is aligning with the greater experience, with the greater collective, with the greater creator. And all of those things, the great creator, the great power, the great universe, the great energy is aligning with your actions. This is fantastic. I'm so glad we finally got here. At the same 17 degrees, we also have a sextile to the sun in Aquarius, which is daily random life, because we are still dealing with a lot of randomness, not nearly as much chaos as we did when Uranus was in Gemini. But it is still saying, hey, look, every day is still random. Every day is still changing. And you know what? Every day is getting better, especially for the collective and for the greater society, for our friend groups. I really like this. Then Saturn trines Jupiter at 15 degrees. So this is basically the parental figures and the emotions and the nostalgia and the stuff that we're stuck on and how things used to be is emotionally aligning with, look, the bigger, deeper picture. We're coming back to the reminder of the emotions that we had when Mars and Jupiter first entered into Pisces. Now this is about halfway through, and is saying, hey, look, you're going to be okay. And we feel it. We feel like, even though we've been upset and we've been, this change is necessary, and it's like soothing us, and it's saying, look, I know this is a really big thing, and it's going to come out better on the, you have to trust the process, you have to trust your intuition, you have to trust that these things that are growing and these things that you're holding on to and these things that mean so much to you, especially emotionally, are still there. They still exist, especially in your heart. So it's okay to let it be. You're okay. This is very soothing. This is very gentle. This is very beautiful. This is another great alignment. Mars then semi-sextiles Chiron and Taurus at 26 degrees. So Chiron here is teaching Mars. Again, it's healing your home, healing. We're coming back to that. So long as you are still acting for the moral high ground, for protecting your family, protecting your peace, protecting your resources, and, you know, doing that for you, because your home life and those things, you're still healing. And so long as you're still trying to actively heal those things, then you're on the right path. Then Mars goes into Taurus approximately February 24th, 2034. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, I am doing a 4-leaf clover bookmark giveaway at 5,000 subscribers, so you should press all the buttons. Please and thank you. Peace out, fam. Much love. Bye-bye.